Few games establish their world and flesh out their characters as effectively as The Legend of Heroes: Trails in the Sky. It's incredibly easy to invest in the fantastical yet relatable settings of Trails because of how much care is evident in its construction. Combined with a thoughtful yet flexible battle system, fantastic soundtrack, and several smart accessibility tweaks, Trails in the Sky absolutely deserves to be recognized in the same way as other, more well-known role-playing games. Trails in the Sky is mostly viewed from the eyes of Estelle Bright and her adopted stepbrother Joshua. Their father, Cassius Bright, is one of the Bracers, a guild dedicated to protecting peace and prosperity. Through his own merits, Cassius is quite the legend, prompting Estelle and Joshua to become Bracers themselves. The young duo travels from city to city, solving problems and earning recommendations with the hope of attaining the rank of full-fledged Bracers. There's a lot to absorb when playing Trails in the Sky, and the siblings' perspective offers the perfect framing device to introduce information. Since Estelle and Joshua are just coming of age and don't know a tremendous amount about the outside world, the game cleverly reveals itself in a natural way thanks to the often unknowing nature of its two charming leads. And what leads they are. Joshua and Estelle serve as perfect counterbalances to one another. Estelle is passionate and energetic, but has a quick temper and acts impulsively. Joshua, on the other hand, is calm and meticulous, always one step ahead of everyone, making him far more reserved. Although the two start out with a simple, childish relationship, often pressing each other's buttons and getting into petty arguments, their feelings slowly start to develop into something more. What helps make the relationship so convincing is how much room it's given to develop. For all the exciting things that happen within the 4 chapters, each with a central conflict to be resolved, the game never forgets to offer plenty of space to show that its characters aren't just heroes, but also ordinary people. Whether it's visiting an orphanage, putting up decorations for a school festival, or merely enjoying the sights around town, there's a lot of quiet time between the moments of drama. Rather than these sections being a drag, however, many are crammed with meaningful information. You may learn what makes a certain character tick, discover the history of a small village, or unearth more about the mysterious orbal energy that powers so much of the world's tech. The various characters also do an excellent job of selling the world. Many of them, even seemingly incidental ones such as shopkeepers, have their own identities and stories that you can check up on throughout the game. Although it has a lot going on, combat is presented in such a way that it's easy to understand. Characters have access to standard physical strikes, arts, which are essentially magic, and crafts, special skills that use points gained while attacking or being attacked. The grid-based nature of fights ensure that positioning is extremely important. Many enemies, for instance, use sweeping attacks, punishing players who keep their characters bunched together. In turn, you can use the system to set up extremely advantageous situations. By pushing people around to specific spots, you can maximize area of effect spells to hit every enemy on the field. Certain abilities can delay an enemy's turn, a crucial tactic against especially quick or devastating foes. Delaying an enemy's turn might also push their random bonus onto one of your characters. These bonuses, such as a bit of healing or a critical strike, appear sporadically throughout battle, sometimes on enemy turns and sometimes on yours. By cleverly delaying a turn, you can nab these bonuses for yourself, potentially providing a small but noticeable edge. All of these options provide a lot of room for strategy and careful planning, but the game is smart enough not to overdo it. A lot of regular conflicts are easy enough to get through without requiring too much thought. It's really during the boss fights when Trails in the Sky requires a more methodical approach, and these challenging encounters are spaced far enough apart as to not get tedious. Plus, upon losing a battle, you simply start it again with the fight tuned to be a little easier. Those that don't want the game to scale things down can turn the option off in the menu. Another convenient feature is the option to run from every non-boss battle with a 100% success rating, so you only have to duke it out when you want to. Trails in the Sky has a lot of the challenge and depth of a classic JRPG, without a lot of the baggage. Things have only gotten better with the recent patch for the PC version that offers a turbo mode, as well as a DirectX 9 version that's in beta. By holding down a button or key, you can increase the game's speed up to 6 times its normal rate. Turbo mode fixes what was easily one of the game's biggest problems. Combat and exploration sometimes move too slowly. Some of the combat animations can be quite lengthy, and there's no fast travel to speak of in Trails, so being able to zip things along improves the quality of the game tremendously. It's commendable that a relatively niche JRPG that came out more than 3 years ago on PC is still receiving such dramatic updates. Considering the quality of Trails in the Sky, it's hard not to imagine more people enjoying it if only they gave it a chance. So many parts of it are exceptionally well crafted. Although it clearly doesn't have the budget of its contemporaries, it beats them in the areas that matter most. Trails in the Sky is an intelligent game with a world full of detail and charm. Although it's only the first part of a trilogy, it's still excellent in its own right, and a perfect place to get started with The Legend of Heroes.